I think about what the Eagles did this offseason, I think of the word opportunity. The Eagles took advantage of opportunities that were presented to themselves. Hassan Reddick wanting to come home. A.J. Brown being Jalen Hurts' friend and wanting a trade. To fleece the New Orleans Saints and pick up extra picks. And then to move up and get Jordan Davis. This team takes advantage of opportunities. That's why when guys like Jesse Bates and Robert Quinn may be available for trade, Howie Vision is ready to pounce. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. You know, I gotta say, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm amazed at Howie Roseman. I am. Howie Vision, we're all just living in it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Right now, it's absolutely fantastic. And you just gotta marvel at what this guy did this offseason. He took advantage of every possible opportunity that came the Eagles' way. And you know what? There are still more opportunities that are presenting themselves to the Philadelphia Eagles. One of those guys could be Robert Quinn, the edge rusher from the Chicago Bears. We're going to get into it in a second. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe for daily Eagles content, NFL content. Look, we are getting ready to go on an amazing, amazing journey this season. This is going to be an amazing season. You don't want to miss it. So hit that subscribe button. And if you've been subscribed for a while, just double check. Double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube is a little gagoots, and sometimes people get unsubscribed unknowingly. So just double check. That would be great. Now, as I was saying, the Eagles have taken advantage of every opportunity presented to themselves this year, okay? And really, that's what I think about when I think about this whole season. Taking advantage of opportunity. Well, what do I mean by that? All right, think about the things that they've done. And I might even miss stuff you could fill me in on. But Hassan Reddick, he wants to come back to the area, right? He wants to come home. He took less money to come to Philly. The Eagles took advantage of that situation. Right? Then you had the whole situation with A.J. Brown. I mean, I don't know how many videos saying, you know, DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel, A.J. Brown. As each one of those names came up at different times in rumors, I said, you got to call. You got to call all three teams. You got to put an offer out there, and hopefully somebody bites. What did the Eagles do on draft night? They called the San Francisco 49ers. They offered the same offer they gave the Tennessee Titans. Niners declined. The Titans took it. The Eagles took advantage of that opportunity. Then Saints, right? You got the New Orleans Saints won another first-round pick this past draft. They gave up a first-round pick for next year for the Eagles. Everybody said the Eagles fleeced them. Pretty much everybody. So the Eagles took advantage of that opportunity. Took advantage of opportunity to go up and get Jordan Davis. They have taken advantage of every possible opportunity that's come their way. James Bradbury getting cut and then being able to sign him was a huge. It was a huge move, and the Eagles took advantage of the Giants' stupidity. You gotta love it. Giants are stupid. You know what I mean? But Bradbury gets cut. Now he's an Eagle. And we've talked about Jesse Bates, right? Jesse Bates, the safety of the Cincinnati Bengals, is another guy. He's not gonna sign his tender. So here's a guy who may present another opportunity for the Eagles to get better. Listen, just because the draft is over doesn't mean that Howie Roseman, Howie Vision, his work is done. He's still got to add pieces. Still has to go out and add pieces if the opportunity presents itself. No team has taken advantage of more things than the Philadelphia Eagles did, okay? And they're sitting pretty. Right now, the Eagles, post-June 1st, are sitting at about $13 million, right? Here's an updated post-June 1st. A look at where all 32 NFL teams stand salary cap. This is an estimate, but it has the Eagles at about $13 million in cap space, right? Washington has 18. Dallas has 22. And then the Giants, with their sticky roster, got 6.6. They stink. But the Eagles, $13 million in cap space. Now, the Eagles could be smart, and they could just let a lot of it roll over which is not a bad idea. It's actually a pretty good idea, to be quite honest with you. But at the same time, if opportunity presents itself, why not go and get better and use some of that money, right? One opportunity that could be coming on the horizon very soon, to maybe, from now until the trade deadline, is Robert Quinn of the Chicago Bears. Robert Quinn wants out. By all accounts, he wants out, okay? Here's what Jason LaCanfora had to say, right? He said, "I continue to hear that Quinn wants out of Chicago. Who could blame him? There are a host of interested teams. Bears brass has told everyone he ain't going anywhere, but they will keep asking, and that's not a loss on the veteran defensive end. The Bears look hapless. They dealt fellow veteran pass rusher Khalil Mack already, and Hakeem Hicks doesn't seem likely to be back. Team is in transition under new management. Quinn is coming off a monster season with 18.5 sacks. He just turned 32 and wants to win. He is also an absolute steal for $13 million. If he gets dealt, the next team would likely sweeten the pot with incentives, if nothing else. If the Bears are as bad as I expect, this will only fester and could be the prize of the trade deadline market." And that's the thing. It doesn't have to necessarily be something the Eagles do before the season starts. They could go and get this guy at the trade deadline. This could be a perfect piece, right? Robert Quinn, 6'4", 245, 32 years old, 18.5 sacks last year. Imagine putting him, he's an outside linebacker, much like Hassan Reddick. Imagine putting him opposite of Reddick, right? Now, you may be saying, well, we got Brandon Graham, we got Josh Sweat, you got all these guys, do we really need them? Look, you can never have too many pass rushers, especially when you're able to rotate and you're giving 4-3, 3-4 looks, all those kind of things. If the opportunity presents itself, why not do it? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Now, what would it cost? I have no idea. It probably costs you a lot. It might. Although, there are a lot of rumors that the Chicago Bears have been targeting Isaac Seumalo, okay? NFL rumors, Bears targeting underappreciated Eagles veteran Isaac Seumalo. The thought process was that Isaac Seumalo is going to be a cap casualty, okay? And I don't know why the Eagles would go out and want to cut Isaac Seumalo. There's no way I would do that. I'm not just cutting him. The guy's a swing guard. He can play both sides, and I have him slated right now going into the season as my starting right guard. Now, if Juergens or Driscoll or somebody beats him out, so be it. But in an opportunity to make a trade, if they would be interested in trading, why not? You know what I mean? I would package him in a deal to go get Robert Quinn. You're getting a guy 18.5 sacks. Even if he comes down to about 10, 12 sacks, and then you have 10, 12 sacks of Hassan Reddick, you get 7, 8 sacks from Josh Sweat, you get 7 sacks from Brandon. I mean, that's a lot of sacks all of a sudden. I mean, it's pretty dominating defensive line. And if the Eagles' defensive line dominates, any hole you have at safety, any hole you have in that secondary, you ain't going to have to worry about it, okay? This is going to be one of the best defenses in football. This is a position, actually, this is something I could see the Eagles doing. Now, I don't think they're going to rush out and do it. I think this would have to be something at the trade deadline. Now, if this happens at the trade deadline, then it ain't $13 million. It's half that, right? So you're talking at that time $6.5 million, $6 million, most likely is what it would cost the Eagles. Way more affordable to do at the trade deadline, especially if you're in a situation where you're having injuries, maybe Josh Sweat ain't playing up to his standards or what you expected, then you can make the move. He's a perfect trade candidate he's a trade deadline candidate is what I'm trying to say. Him, Jesse Bates, those guys I could see going to the Eagles at the trade deadline. However, opportunity has presented the Eagles with a lot this offseason. And if it comes where the Bears are trying to shop him before camp or before the start of the season, I think the Eagles should strongly consider it. You can never have too many pass rushers, and I've said this 1,000 times, I'll say it again. The Eagles' defense is predicated on their pass rush. If you're not getting to the quarterback, I don't care who you are. You remember, this is a team that allowed guys like Derek Carr to throw for over 85% completion percentage. This didn't happen just one time. This happened multiple times. To me, you can never have too many pass rushers. He's 32 years old. He's not a long-term answer, but for a year or two, it may not be a bad move, especially when you may lose Brandon Graham next year. You may lose Derek Barnett. He may be a good bridge guy to have with Hassan Reddick for a year or two. So I would strongly consider this. I think this is something that the Eagles would definitely look into. I don't think they're going to overpay. I wouldn't overpay. I'm not giving up a first-round pick. I'm not giving up a second-round pick. I don't care if he had 18 sacks. I'm not doing it for a guy 32 years old. But if the Eagles really were considering maybe trying to free themselves of Seumalo's cap, which I don't think they are, but if the Bears are that interested in him, then maybe you can work something out. You can package it. It's just a thought. The Eagles have taken advantage of opportunity. Okay? I take advantage of opportunity all the time. I take advantage of the fact that I look like Denzel Washington. It helps me get into restaurants quicker. Helps me get out of tickets, even though I, didn't get out of one of them. And then it also helps me on here. People think that they're clicking on Denzel Washington. So you got to take advantage of your opportunities. The Eagles have done that, and there's still more opportunities out there for this team to go out and get right now. If Robert Quinn becomes available and is being shopped around, you got to jump on it. And I know, I'm saying they're loaded. They would be loaded at the linebacker position, loaded at pass rusher. Who cares? You can never have too many. In my opinion, you can never have too many offensive linemen, and you can never have too many pass rushers. The only reason I even consider trading Andre Dillard is for one reason, because he can't play right tackle. If he could, I would move him. If he could play guard, I'd keep him. The reason why I'm not cutting Isaac Seumalo is because he can play swing. He's a swing guard. He can play either side. Those guys are super valuable. And I love that the Eagles are getting Cam Jurgens, and they're also already going to cross-train him at right guard. They're already saying he's going to play center, and we're going to cross-train him at guard. That's smart. And any player, especially an offensive lineman, you should always want to be able to play multiple positions. Make yourself as valuable as you possibly can. And that's what you got to do. But if Robert Quinn becomes available, he wants out. You got to go after him. Here's another guy. I'm going to put him with the Jesse Bates category, where I look at them as trade deadline possibilities. I don't see the Eagles doing it now, but at the trade deadline, when you can slash half their salary for the rest of the year, I think those are guys that you have to strongly consider. Now, hopefully, we're getting so many sacks with our guys we have that it doesn't matter. We don't need to do it. But if you want to make that defensive line even stronger, if you want to make those edge rushers even stronger, if you want to have a great rotation, if the opportunity presents itself, get them. Because after all, this entire offseason has been about the Eagles feasting on opportunities that has presented themselves to the Eagles. Why stop now if you don't have to? With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. It's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Did anybody see Mark Holmes' video on Jordan Davis? Oh, Jordan Davis, he eats too many cheesesteaks. And Jordan Davis, he only can play 2 downs and he's too fat. And the Eagles have made a big mistake and it's going to really hurt the team. This is a guy that did 90 videos a day leading up to the draft, to the day of the draft, talking about Dallas trading up for Jordan Davis. He loved Jordan Davis, and now, Jordan Davis is horrible. How could the Eagles draft him? Jordan Davis is a monster. He's a stud. He already lost, 10 to 15 pounds. He looks like he's in good shape. He's probably one of the strongest players on the team. Great personality, going to fit the locker room and the city perfectly. Jordan Davis is a problem. He's going to be a problem for the Cowboys and Mark Holmes for a long time. They're scared. They're scared of the Eagles. They know what's coming for them. They know. Mark Holmes knows. Eagles are coming. And we're coming for his meats. Denzel Washington out.